Welcome to Echoes of the Unsolved, a podcast that delves into the most baffling true crime cases. In the records of unsolved crimes, some cases linger, casting a long shadow over communities and families. The disappearance of a young life, the discovery of remains, and the decades-long search for answers. These are the hallmarks of a cold case that continues to haunt Detroit, Michigan. This is the story of Carla Tucker. The year was 1979. Disco was king, gas prices were soaring, and in Detroit, a seemingly ordinary afternoon held a baffling secret. 14-year-old Carla Tucker, a bright and promising young teenager, left her home on Elmwood Street for a quick trip to the grocery store. Her brother watched her go, a fleeting image of his sister turning a corner, unaware it would be the last time he ever saw her alive. Carla was more than just a teenager. She was the eldest of 5 siblings, a natural leader and a caregiver, a spelling bee champion. She excelled academically at Miller Middle School, described by her family as kind, gentle, and quietly competitive. Carla loved running track and watching game shows. This errand to the store was routine, something a responsible 14-year-old did without a second thought. But Carla never came home. When hours passed and Carla didn't return, her mother, Laverne Wilson, knew something was terribly wrong. A missing person report was filed, and the Detroit Police Department began their search. But days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The vibrant life of Carla Tucker seemed to have vanished without a trace. For over a decade, silence. The case of the missing teenager grew cold, and then, in February 1992, a chilling discovery was made in Carlton Township, about 30 miles from Carla's Detroit home. At the Matlin Road landfill, human remains were found inside a 55-gallon drum encased in concrete. The body was female, the estimated age aligning with Carla's, but identification proved impossible, and the victim was known only as Jane Doe. The act of concealing a body in such a manner spoke volumes. This was no accident. This was a deliberate act of violence. The mystery of Jane Doe persisted for another 2 decades. Hope dwindled, but for Carla's family, the yearning for answers never faded. In 2014, inspired by a news report about unidentified bodies, Carla's mother and sister made a courageous decision. They submitted their DNA for comparison. Months later, on February 11, 2015, the agonizing wait ended. A DNA match confirmed their deepest fears. Jane Doe was Carla Tucker. 36 years after her disappearance, a piece of the puzzle had been found. The identification allowed investigators to finally determine the horrific truth of Carla's fate. She had been sexually assaulted and strangled. Her body then hidden, encased in concrete, a final indignity after a brutal end. The details painted a grim picture of a violent crime, a predator lurking in the shadows of a seemingly safe neighborhood. Yet despite this breakthrough, the most crucial question remains unanswered. Who killed Carla Tucker? Today, her murder is a cold case. Authorities admit they have no solid leads regarding her abduction and murder. Crime Stoppers of Michigan is offering a cash reward of up to $2,500 for anyone who can provide information leading to an arrest. Every forgotten detail, every whisper rumor from 1979 could be the key to unlocking this decades-old mystery. If you remember anything, no matter how insignificant it may seem, about the disappearance of Carla Tucker in June 1979, please contact the Detroit Police Department or Crime Stoppers of Michigan. Her family has lived with this uncertainty for far too long. They deserve closure. Carla deserves justice. The tragedy of Carla Tucker in Detroit remains an unsolved chapter in the history of crime. The search for answers continues. The memory of Carla Tucker lives on in the hearts of her family and a community that has never forgotten her. This has been the Echoes of the Unsolved. Have a wonderful day.